In today's video, I'm going to show you how to build a Dutch door on a shed or greenhouse. A Dutch door is split in the middle so that you can open the top for extra airflow while keeping the bottom closed so small animals don't wander in and nest. This is the final episode in my 12-part series on building this combination shed greenhouse in my New Jersey backyard. Stay tuned for the end of the video for a walkthrough of the whole completed project. Please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and leave me a comment that says whether you've been here for the whole series or you just came for the Dutch door. The skin of this door was made from the cut-off pieces of LP smart siding that covered the greenhouse, so all the lines were consistent. The siding is relatively thin and would likely warp over time unless you attach it to an interior frame, like I did when I built the double doors for the shed. For the greenhouse, though, I made a temporary door by sandwiching the siding with a scrap piece of the roof sheathing from the shed. 3/4-inch zip system roof sheathing is very heavy, dense, and flat, but I wasn't sure how it would work as a door. Since it stayed flat throughout the winter and spring into summer, I decided to keep it for the permanent greenhouse door. Now, if you search Google Images or Pinterest for Dutch door for a greenhouse, you'll see most of them have windows. I bought an old window sash on Facebook Marketplace for $20 that was about 28 inches wide and 19 inches tall, which was the perfect size, but it needed to be refinished. This is the window that I picked up on Facebook Marketplace to use for the door on the greenhouse. And you can see the glazing needs to be replaced, so I'll take care of that. And of course I'll scrape off any of the loose paint and paint it black to match the other windows. But what I'm going to do after I cut the opening for this to fit in the top part of the door, I'm going to use 1x2 just to make a frame around it, and then that way there'll be a ledge here for me to hold the window in, and I'll screw it in place. Reglazing a window is a lost art for sure. What I'm doing is I'm pulling out the loose glazing, then I'm going to remove the paint, and then I'm going to reglaze it with this. They still sell this. I got it at Home Depot. So that's glazing that goes in there, and it creates a nice flexible seal against the glass, and then it'll all get painted black. I rotated the window 90 degrees and mocked up the trim and the shelf to decide where to split the door. I also needed to make a second cut off the bottom door to make room for the shelf, which was made from a scrap piece of 5/4 pressure-treated decking. The trim around the door was attached with 1.5-inch trim screws, which were the perfect length to grab through all the layers. Alright, so this is my Dutch door without the window yet, and I'm still putting the trim on it, but you can see this is what it's going to look like. And it's got this shelf in between the two, which is pressure treated. I'm not sure if we're going to paint that or stain it to match the floor. Either way, then this opens too, and there'll be a barrel bolt here to hold them together so you can open and close them as one door, but you could just close that one if you want. So my wife wanted a Dutch door, and this is how I did it. 4 hinges, and it's a lot of work. It was a lot of work, I must say. So not that I necessarily recommend it. The way the other doors were made on the shed were easier, but it's going to look nice when it's done. To make the frame around the window, I used the same trim that I used around the rest of the windows. This is LP Smart Trim. And these are just simple butt joints with 2-inch trim screws holding each corner. All right, the moment of truth. Look at that. Wow. Very nice. I'm using 1 5/8" screws to attach the window, and I'm going to do it from the inside so that way I could see the screws in case I ever need to remove the window for whatever reason. And as long as I don't drive the screw head into the wood too much, it won't come out the front. And I'm going to pre-drill through the 2 layers behind it. That way it's just biting into the window and holding it tight. After staining the shelf to match the pergola, it was attached to the bottom door with 3-inch trim screws. With the door completed, the only remaining detail was the installation of 14 2x2 purlins on top of the pergola. They're spaced around 3 inches apart and attached with 2.5-inch galvanized finish nails. And here you can see the finished product. The Dutch door is done. And what I did is I stained this piece to match the pergola. So that one's a little bit shinier. That's the water-based stain. The one on the floor, by the way, is the same that was inside the greenhouse, which is an oil-based stain. So that one's a little bit more durable for the floor. And of course, the whole point of a Dutch door is that you can open just the top. The only finishing touch on here is I added a bit of quarter round molding here and painted it the same blue so that it hid the jagged edge that I had there left over from, you know, when the greenhouse was built. So that is the finished look. And of course, pulling back, you'll see truly the finished look, and it is just beautiful. We had a whole pile in the early episodes. You'll see there was this pile of these pavers just sitting over here against the fence, and we wanted to get rid of them and use them in a way that was, you know, efficient, so I didn't have to pay to get rid of them. We had a landscaper come in and put them down and put these the little pebbles in between them, and they're held in with the rock glue, so you know they're in place. And we're going to see how that holds up. Hopefully, I'll probably have to do the glue every year. And then just did a bit of a garden back here. Expanded my wife's garden. She loves to garden. Now, on the inside of the greenhouse, this bistro set is just temporary. My wife is looking for something that she likes a little bit better. But we put these potting benches in here. I got them on Amazon. And they fit the space perfectly, and there's a little bit of storage here behind the cabinet and a drawer, and the other side has just open shelving, and I attached these to the wall so that they are good and sturdy, and they have this nice stainless steel top on both of them, which is good because that way she can, you know, beat it up basically with potting. all of her flowers in the spring and all year long. So this is it's just a beautiful space, and she just loves it. She loves this space. She loves having her own space, and it really came out nice. I'm very happy. This is what I call a legacy project. This is something that will outlive me, and people after will be able to really enjoy it, whether it be my wife or whoever buys the house from us. And so, you know, it's just a beautiful project. Now, the other thing we added was these little cafe lights here, and they're really inexpensive, and they just have a solar panel up here that just provide a nice little glow at night, and I like it, and she likes it, and that's all that matters. My shed greenhouse combo was a custom design based on one that we had seen at a shed dealer in upstate New York in July of 2024. That was selling for nearly $15,000 at the time, but my goal was to build it myself for half that, under $7,500. The good news is my version, as built, was a little bit bigger and only cost around $6,700. So what do you think of my shed greenhouse? Leave me a comment down below and leave me your thoughts, and I will put a link in the video description. If you want to get the blueprints, they are available on my website. And of course, if you made it this far, please give the video a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Hey there, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon to be the first to know when new videos are posted. Look for HandyDadTV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and visit the website HandyDad.tv for more great ideas and information.